My name is Lorronishae, and I am an alumni of Just in Time. I first entered foster care at the age of 15 when my 11-year-old brother and I were taken from our parents due to domestic violence and abuse in the home. At that time, life as we knew it seemed over. We didn't know who we were going to go with, where we were going to go, or even what was going to happen to our parents. But by the grace of God, we were not separated, which is the case for many siblings in the foster care system. We were placed with the same foster family in the same home. And eventually, after about a year and a half, we were returned to our parents to live with them again in their care full time. As grateful as I am that my dad was required to go through the court-mandated anger management courses, which allowed my brother and I the time and space away from our parents, which was much needed, it was not a total fix. There are many residual effects for victims of physical and emotional abuse. For me personally, that looked like I was left with a lot of shame and warped thinking. I had a distorted understanding of who I was and my self-worth, which ultimately affected my confidence as I stepped into adulthood. So here I was a couple years later, fresh out of high school, living in a pretty volatile household where I was regularly being discouraged from going to college. And although I didn't know it at the time, I was also dealing with symptoms of PTSD and relying on mechanisms or strategies that I had put in place as a child to protect myself, which now as an adult were working against me. I felt incredibly hopeless and I felt stuck. And that's where Just in Time entered the picture. I first heard about Just in Time from a social worker who had suggested I might get assistance in purchasing my very first camera for a photography business I was starting while in college. And just a few weeks later, Just in Time came through and they helped me buy that camera. Later, I attended a college-bound event where I met my mentor and now friend of over 12 years, Miss Nancy White. Nancy and I instantly clicked that day, and she has been an incredibly encouraging and supportive presence in my life ever since. But there are so many other volunteers who have played a key role. When I moved into my first place, there was a volunteer who hosted a party to collect household items for my first apartment. In financial fitness, I learned how to budget and manage money. And thanks to Just in Time's financial services, I learned how to write a killer resume and how to do a job interview, skills like that. More recently, I've been able to take advantage of Just in Time's therapy services, which have allowed me to further heal and grow. So all that Just in Time does is essentially what a parent would normally do for their child, but for former foster youth, that just doesn't happen, and it puts us at a great disadvantage. And after being connected to Just in Time for a little over a decade, I can confidently say that community is truly life-giving. It changes everything when you know someone believes in you. It changes everything when you know someone is there for you. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, yeah. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. Ooh, and I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on a tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is done, that's what I mean. And this whole world is a new world and a bold world for me. Yeah. Stars, when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of a pine, you know how I feel. Oh, freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me.